Hi all, welcome to episode number 8 of the Trading to Glory. Plenty to do in this episode, focusing on informs, so you're welcome to smash the likes as always. Sub to the channel if you're new, follow me on Twitter at GIsALegend. All the links are down below for posting the channel and social media links as always. And hit that notification bell so you know when uploads are up on the channel, would be massively appreciated as always. And comment down below where you have been focusing your efforts. So we've started the episode with around 120k. And we've been kind of going serious on a few informs lately, like Kujawa, Jorginho, Bergwijn, Verratti, Hydreki, Player. We've been basically spending time over since like the weekend. We always try and do our buying of informs at the weekend, but we do find like a lot of snipes happen like Monday, Tuesday, and even into Wednesday as well. So we do try and get some snipes in, get the coins flowing, and we take it from there. But for me, I have spent most of my efforts mainly on Bergwijn. Now in the Xbox market, he generally has been 30-32k. You get periods where he drops it like 28-29, but what I've noticed is it's because people are trying to sell him at 28-29k, and what I've noticed is it's mainly because he'll sell at 30, so I know I can hold off, sell at 30, and then makes a profit. So my target price, and I've explained this a lot on Discords and Twitters and so forth, etc. That if Bergwijn is going for 30k, like if I know he sells at 30 and I don't have to panic, I just have to make sure I am paying no more than 28k. That way it allows for the tax, and I'll still make profit of about 500 coins a card. Now, folk would say, oh, you're paying 28k just for 500 coins profit. The thing is, and that's just proven there, that was a minimum price snipe I missed. If I had got that card, that there in itself was nearly 20k profit. That would have been a 20k profit. We would have been delighted. Like a minimum price Bergwijn. What's annoying is I have not seen one minimum price all week of Bergwijn. The amount of 15-16k ones especially, I will admit, like half the price have popped up, but I've just not got them. Like I've missed ones 18-20k that I've been doing off camera, and even some of the ones when I have been recording, because I thought I might as well see if I can get some decent footage. It's been lots of misses. I had one on Sunday night when I got my recording ready for Bergwijn, and I was like, oh, I'll go and snipe him, blah 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 blah, and it just did not happen. It just did not happen. In a space of about 10 minutes, there was 10 different Bergwijns of different people just listing up cheap, and I was just not successful in the slightest. But it is what it is. Like what I'd hoped to also be showing was the buying of, like you saw the Kujawa example that I'd bought. The aim was I was hoping to have shown like all the informed buys, but realised my footage, for whatever reason or other, I don't know, I've went looking for it, it was nowhere to be seen. The only part of it was that Kujawa buy, which was a bit annoying, which was a 5.6 by the way. I've been trying all week, and I eventually got him for 5.6. There was someone had put a bid in at 5.1. It went down to about the last 20 seconds. I'd been watching it anyway, I'd been watching it from the minute it went up, but it took about 15 minutes left for someone to put a bid in, and I thought might as well nab them. But we've got some Bergwijn deals here, so this will give us some profit, keeps the coins flowing rather nicely. We've got to constantly obviously just readjust the buy now, that's all I work from. But what I will say is this, what I've been doing here with Bergwijn is so I'm not missing out on any potential Malins. I've just set the filter to PSV, and I'm watching Kujawa as well, try to get some of these bids in, because you never know. You might get a cheaper Kujawa than the one that I've got, which is highly unlikely because he's been consistently selling for around 7-8k, even 9 in some 9 and 10k in some cases when the supply is a bit non-existent. But I would say for myself, it's just a case of constantly just making sure, following these coins going, not being overly fussed of if it's 500 coins, 10k, whatever it may be. Like I'm trying to get ones on bids, wins on Snipe, like, yes, I'm mostly focusing on Bergwijn, but it's obviously never ideal when if you've had other footage prepared and you suddenly have it all missing. So what I would say is, with Team of the Week 4, what I noticed was that the best ones to kind of constantly keep working with were Verratti, Bergwijn, Jorginho, Hidreki, Player, mainly because they were just a easy steady flow of them. Like Jorginho, we were averaging like 1k a card, and it was quite steady, it was nothing too strenuous. I would say as well that Verratti, like now, like, because I've not been holding like some of these informs, like like Verratti for example. I should have went hard on him when he was like 32k. If I'd went hard on that 32k, he's like 40 odd k now, and I would have probably made just as good profit if I'd been trading. But I think at the same time, because I was more just wanting to keep coins flowing, I wasn't exactly fussed too heavily about trading with them. So we've been just kind of digging away, as you saw with some sales there as well. So the Kujawas and the Jorginhos that we were trying to get on bids and snipes, not to be obviously, but you can't get everything. We can wish to get everything, but at the end of the day, you don't want to be overpaying for a card, especially like if it's a silver inform that you're unsure about if it will make you profit or not. Like, you could buy the card for 8k, and if you're trying to sell them on for 9k, there is a chance that you say to yourself, well, will they sell? Because if it's an 8k and you sell it at 9, then you're still going to make some decent profit. Like, we got one there, missed the other, but we get one back in return, so 2 in quick. Like, we're suddenly spending serious coins to suddenly sell this all back on. My biggest gripe, I would say, especially with these informs, I've noticed, or any card actually for that matter, is if you say, like, for example, you've bought four of these informs, so you spent 120k, and you're suddenly saying to yourself, where's my, like, one of the, like, you've only got 3 cards when you should have 4, and you say to yourself, where on earth is it? And it's just because it's like one of these, like, it's almost like it's the game's like unassigning it for you. Like, it's like went hidden, so you kind of you then have to buy something else quick, say urgently if you need to then get that card to reappear, because it's not ideal, especially if you're trying to quickly sell it on. Like, say you suddenly disappear or you get disconnected and you can't get back onto the server for 20 minutes. For all you know, in that 20-minute period, you might be losing out on 5k, 10k, whether it be profit or at loss. So it is kind of annoying, but obviously we're just trying to watch everything quite vigilantly here, to the point where we can say, right, time I list everything back up, what profit are we sitting on? Because what I noticed, especially with like Bergwijn, Player and Jorginho, quite commonly it was saying like 2 or 3 pages of a card, and you're like, then time you eventually try and jump, like, you just, like, all you have to do is like adjust it by like 250 coins. What you suddenly noticed was that the card, say the card was selling, in Bergwijn's case was 30k, like, if you were at max buy now 30k, the minute you adjust it to 29,750, there's suddenly like none on the market. You're like, so why am I seeing like 5 pages of like this card? And this is why I go back, because then you see that, like, I only done one adjustment and there's only a handful in the market, so I knew right away, I thought, well, we can sell what we've been selling them for, and it just gives us easy coins, easy profit. And this is what you find, like, in Bergwijn's case, he's like, in any actual midfielder's case, actually any of them, any that's a CDM, centre mid, cam, any of them primarily, even a striker for that matter, sometimes, depending on the filter, because if there's more than one player to work with. What I was constantly noticing, in like Bergwijn's case, you could go, plenty were popping up at CDMs, centre mid, not just as base of a cam, but then centre forward and striker. And then you were constantly seeing folk putting position chem styles on them, from like finisher, hawk, engine, marksman, Shadow Hunter, Catalyst, you were constantly seeing whatever, and you had to be wary of like where your kind of like thresholds were. You couldn't like just jump in on like say a 30k Shadow, because sometimes there might only be a handful in the market and they're all like high priced, like 40, 50k, when in reality he's not going to sell for much more than 34, 35k. So you just had to kind of just take a step back at times and be wary before you kind of like jumped on it. But realistically though, I'm obviously having to be sensible here, where I'm starting to drain the coins quite significantly, but that's only because obviously we're still waiting for our sales to come in and just be like, right, we can now jump in and get the coins flowing once more, because we're making good, like I've been making good profits lately, and the coins are going up. And the way I'm looking at it, like the first 2 or 3 weeks we were at the stage where I was building up the coins and then spending them all on the informs, and then building back up, spending them all. Now we're at the stage where, because packs have been going our way and trading's more going our way, kind of spending a little bit more time, the coin balance is starting to kind of sit there steadily. And it's like when I show the buys in the end, because I'll show it after, now that I've realised that we've missed the footage, I'll show the buys that we got from Team of the Week 5. Obviously the discard ones I'm not going to be overly showing, because you kind of know what to expect with them. But all told, we're now pushing close to 70 informs in the club. All I will say that we still have not got a cheap Bergwijn in the club. I have tried and tried and tried, but we've got Hydreki, we've got 11,750 for him. He's like 20k nearly, so that's good profit on him. I just got him sniped by chance. It was like 4 or 5 at the time, and I sold that. That was the cheapest one. Jorginho was 20k. I kept trying to get him between 15 and 20k. It was just not happening whatsoever. But it is what it is. But I'll take a 20k. He's like 25, 26k now anyway, so we're not going to be too downhearted by that. So that's the ones on the first page from Team of the Week 4. Then player, we paid 14,250 for him. I tried my hardest to try and get him cheaper, but it just wasn't to be. But we will not complain regardless. And then like Semedo, he was obviously packed. If you've seen the squad battle rewards from Elite 3, so not going to complain about him in the slightest. Very nice looking card. That's like 90k sitting in the club. Then others that were part of Team of the Week 4 that we'd got cheap, like Mollet, was a position change with engine for minimum price, so I'm pretty pleased with that one. So he'll sit in quite nicely. I'll just let him go up as time progresses, like 11, 12k now. But I was hoping if you've got like a position change and Shadow on him would help. Dunk we got packed, we didn't buy him anyway, so I'm not complaining. Paloy's minimum price buy. Wesley we got packed, we got another one in minimum price Snipe, and we'll try to get him as well, so that would have been nice to have shown. So that would have been a nice minimum price Snipe. But as I said, the rest were all discards, so we're sitting at 232k at the moment. Coin's looking good, but all in all I am pretty pleased with that. So I'll quickly show, as I said, the Wesley minimum price just to prove it. Well, hopefully you enjoyed this. As always folks, let me know in the comments down below what you've been making for money. Smash the like, always sub to the channel if you're new, and I'll catch you all later.